Good Lord. Blimey, blimey, blimey. Would you believe it? Oh, I get myself all ready to do some painting and then went to use the tap and the tap broke. Well, it got stuck up. Then I cut myself on the tap. Then I couldn't get the tap to turn off. And then after that, running around trying to figure out, turning the water off, running around turning off the water. Oh my gosh. It's been a little bit stressful. Anyway. Okay, so now that I've seen the sound check is good. Alright, stitch that. And, okay, alright, so, yeah, Aaron, yes, the Shambling Mound doesn't look like the one that's in the monster manual. I totally understand, but I didn't want to put exactly the same image up as, you know, I'm back again to do some more painting. So look, if you're looking for the start time for this video, it will be down in the description for those of you who want to check it out. I have left my window open so I have a little bit of air coming in, so no fan. No cicadas though, because it's an overcast day. You are welcome to chat along with me while I do my painting. Not a problem. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and pardon me guys. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I'm going to do some painting. I'm going to talk while I do some painting, which I often tend to do. I thought the duck in the dungeon was a good idea to sort of start things off with. Now, for those of you who are wondering, Fred, what's with the thumbnail? The thumbnail looks a little bit odd. It doesn't look like the miniature or the picture in the monster manual. Doesn't look anything like Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures Shambling Mound. I just picked a picture and stuck it up there. So if you're getting confused about that, that's all that. That's nothing else to it. Okay. So I'm going to do some painting. I decided to do a little bit of painting off screen for those of you who are wondering what's going on, and I used a wash. I took the advice of Darren and a couple of others and I decided to do some washing. So I used, where is it? It is over here. It's the brown wash. So I used this stuff here. This is the brown wash, Dungeons and Dragons brown wash. It's an army painter paint. Even though it's branded as D&D, and all the little white patches that I had have sort of disappeared, which I'm like super happy about because that made things look a lot better. So Darren, great advice, thank you very much. How's it going, Darren? Aaron, take 2, yes. Sorry man, a little bit flustered. I wasn't expecting everything to be so complicated. Plus I have a band-aid on now, so you can think band-aid, cut myself on the tap. How's it going, Casey? Alright, so I'm going to work my way backwards. I was working my way from dark to light, and I'm going to go back since I finally got some coverage that was reasonable. I'm going to go with, let's try to tackle some of the darker areas that I wanted to paint. So I'm going to use this stuff, the troll skin, and then I'm probably going to use some very light colours. Very, very, very light. If you're wondering what the noise is, it's me shaking like a leaf, because I should have done all the shaking beforehand. So troll skin. Let's start there. We'll start dark, work lighter, and there we go. Here's my brush. We're going to use a standard Citadel brush because I figure I'm not really doing hugely detailed stuff right now, and that ought to get me where I need to be. I've got to remember too that I don't want to get too silly with the water because it does not like to be watered down, I've discovered. So let's paint in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of the areas with the dark colour, and then I'm going to tackle some areas with a lighter colour so that there is some differentiation amongst the miniature. Oh, not that it really matters because I went like blurted my paint on all over the place. It's all going to sort of even out in the end, doesn't it? Don't freak out, Fred. And I'm not sure if that is that woody or greeny stuff. It's a bit hard to tell. Let's do the shoulder around there. I'm going to say it's greeny, so I'm going to paint some of this darker green on here. Cover up that brown, and just a few touch-ups here and there for the areas where I sort of put brown, where I didn't want to put brown. The light's not great. if the light isn't good enough, you guys let me know, and you'll just have to suffer, because I don't know if I can do any more. I've got lights on all over the place. I know that's not the done thing to say, but there's not much more light I can throw onto it. Okay, so because I have used various colours, different greens here, there and everywhere, it kind of looks a little odd in places, but it's varied, so it's like multicoloured green. Is that a good thing? I don't know. TSM Cruise, how's it going? Hello. Aaron, I just use crappy acrylic paints for my minis and make my own washes using water and dish soap and paint. Fair enough. Totally understand. That's all right. I'm not that clever, Aaron. I'm just not that clever when it comes to painting. I know you can, and that's how people used to do it, and they still do, but it's really a bit beyond me. Oh, I feel like I need to put some brown there. There's just not quite right, and this is a bit light, so I'll put a bit of green in there. The dark wash didn't quite do what I wanted to in those locations, and I tried gluing the base on, but I did not scrape off the Vallejo primer on the underneath. And I don't know if you can see, but there are patches that are white. That's because the super glue was sticking to the glue and not the actual resin. And then of course it just pulled off. So now I have a base. Look at this. Like so. Very clever on my part. I should know better. Just at the time I was like, let's get that bit done. And it didn't really get done. It just came apart. Okay, I'm just going to paint around the mouth. Some areas I put maybe a bit too much black on. And give me a second, guys. My brush is starting to separate again, and that usually indicates that there's not enough water on the brush, or it's too dry. Too dry. My brush is dry. I have a dry brush. So I have put up a poll on the group on the YouTube channel asking about the Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master questions and answers that I do monthly, and whether people want me to separate things. And it seems to me that quite a few people would like me to actually separate the Q&A for Dungeon Masters, and that the players would like to have a Q&A themselves. So if that winds up happening, which I suspect it will, that'll mean only one Lost Mine of... No, not two. Not one. 2 Lost Mine of Phandelver Dungeon Master guides per month rather than 3. And there'll be a player Q&A as well. I don't know what format that will take, but I know if I don't separate them, there's going to be issues. So I will separate them, and we'll see how we go from there. Okay, this paint is fine if I'm applying it to something that's already been painted, but I feel like if it was just straight onto primer, it doesn't cover well. It didn't cover well yesterday. In fact, I think it covered really, really badly, as it happens. Just my opinion. Okay, and a little bit in there. Cool. Where else do I want to go? Oh, I want to go in there. Look at that. Don't know if you can see that hand. I'll turn it around the other way so you can actually see what's going on. Sorry. So that hand looked like it was just a little bit too brown in sections, and there was a bit of grey showing through. I will have to go over some areas, I think, with brown just to tidy it up. but considering, certainly made a big difference applying that that wash. That wash made a huge change in the miniature by doing that. I'm really glad that I took Darren's and a couple other people's advice. What's that, Darren? I like adding in a player Q&A to the mix. Already voted. Fair enough, Darren. It looks to me like people are asking for a specific topic as well for the Dungeon Master Q&A and the player Q&A, rather than just a open question one. And I guess that makes sense. Then it's searchable. So if you're looking, because you don't really know what I talked about in the monthly Q&A, so they'd all just eventually they'll just wind up being a collection of Q&As that could be about something useful, but they're not really searchable, are they? So and I know a lot of people watch my stuff quite a lot later after I've actually put it up, so topics might be a good idea. I kind of figured that would be. I had been kind of doing that anyway. I went and handed in my uniform to Mitre 10 today, and handed in my key, and I went to Omaha Beach, and it started to rain. I thought I was going to get a swim in, but apparently no. No, have been denied. Next time, it'll happen. And now I've got to go and buy a tap for my bathroom tomorrow. So that'll be about 350 bucks. And I'll have to install it, which I don't think it's going to be particularly difficult. Okay, alright, so I've done the green. So we did, I'll just move the greens out of the way. So I've done the troll skin green. Let's move on to a different colour. I've done quite a lot of camo already, so I don't feel like I need to go camoing again. Camo green. That's the Vallejo paint, not the Army Painter paint. And I've got myself an emerald, Feywild Emerald, which is a Dungeons and Dragons or Army Painter paint. So I'm going to use some of that so that the miniature has a variety of different greens over it. No, if you can feel the screen shaking, it's me. Okay. And dropping my paint. Oh, this is a lot lighter. So this is actually, I'm going to have to be careful how I do this, because it's going to, you will be able to see the difference. Definitely. Yep, there we go. And oh man, it's going to be significantly lighter than the rest, so it's going to show up. I might tackle a couple of the leaves and see what it looks like. There we go. That leaf sort of stands out now, the lighter colour. And I'll do another leaf that's close by, about the same colour. Yeah. Fiddly stuff. If I wind up not talking quite so much, it's because I'm concentrating. Alright. So those little leaves actually stand out now. Certainly a lot more than they did before. There's a couple of little itty bitty leaves down here. Can I get at them? Might need a smaller brush. And that's another leaf. Oh. Okay, alright, so that's... Okay, so this little leaf business that I'm going with is going to need a smaller brush. I'm not going to be able to pull it off this way. Fred, did you get the set of paints with... Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't get the Adventurers paint set. I suppose I could have asked Gale Force 9 for it, but I thought it was a bit much. I'm assuming it's a product that's still available to be purchased, right? So it's not an old product or anything like that. And I'm still sort of releasing the videos that I said I would release that they could promote. So yeah, I'm a little bit reluctant to do that until I have actually finished painting the owlbear and the beholder. I feel like once I've done that, then asking for more stuff might be a bit more sensible. I mean, maybe I'm just being a bit too silly about the whole thing. And still available? Okay. Well, look, I'll have a talk to Gareth and see if he'll send it to me. Oh, there. There we go. That's another leaf in there. And we get another leaf here. So I'm just trying to pick out the leaf with the lighter green. If you guys want me to get the set, I feel like quite a few of you have already probably got paint sets that are far more advanced than that. And you know, honestly, I think that this, if you're going to buy a paint set, I really think that Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments Monster Paint set has got pretty much everything you would need. I don't think you'd need very much more than that. That's 36 paints. It's a lot. There's 29 colours. And not only that, you're getting a miniature as well. There's 3 washes, 3 metallics, and the blood bottle for doing effects. I think that's actually pretty good. Okay, leaf. Oh, I went and saw Alita Battle Angel. Man, that was a gory movie. I was really shocked that they didn't have a higher rating, in a censor rating for it, because there were kids in that watching heads being decapitated, and you know, it was action packed, and I wouldn't say it wasn't a bad movie or anything like that. It did not seem like it was suitable for kiddies. And you got the impression from watching the trailer that it was sort of, you know, a let's take the kids to the movies sort of thing. I don't think it really was. Certainly wasn't expecting that level of violence. Should have expected, you know, like Cameron's involved, so it's going to probably be violent, right? Did I enjoy it? My problem is I did like the movie. It just, there are times where I felt like the violence was a bit much, and then they've set up for another movie, so I like, oh, okay, all right. So there's going to be, they want to make another one. That seems to be the thing now. Is you don't want to make a movie and just have it stand alone. There's got to be a follow-up as well. I'm not sure why that is absolutely necessary, but everybody's trying to duplicate what happened in 1970s with Star Wars. It ain't going to work that way. That was a very different time. And George Lucas was making a movie that nobody thought would work. Okay, now, all right. So, oh, there's a little leaf there. I can paint that little leaf on the shoulder. So let's just angle it a bit so you can see what's going on. Now, I know that the leaves aren't standing out hugely, but I do have some lighter colours that I can use to sort of brush over and make them a little bit more standoutish. Minskin boo, Minskin boo. I was curious if anyone else's Minsk and boo had warped. Yeah, I think that it's a known problem that Minskin boo's, or Minsk's sword with the Minskin boo miniature is warped, and you have to readjust it. I'm not really a huge fan of painting little figurines nowadays, just because I'm not very good at it. My eyes are just not strong enough, and my hands are not careful enough to be able to make it happen and do it well. It doesn't mean that other people shouldn't, but it's just a bit hard for me. Okay. There we go. It's looking good, Fred. The leaves are making a difference. Yeah, I think they are. I think that's actually going to be the deciding factor by just picking out the leaves and anything that sort of looks a little bit different. Oh, there's a big blotch of clear. I don't want to use this color because it's too light. Bugger it, I'll stick it in there anyway. I can go over it later. At least it's covered if I forget it. And you can hardly see it where it is. He says, as it's got on a camera pointing at it. Yeah, right. Okay. Now it's just looking for leaves. Now there's a leaf. Another little leaf. Pick out that. Okay, and there's a leaf there. And bam. Okay, cool. Aaron's back. My lunch relief came in. Oh, that's good. You're obviously working, Aaron, by the sounds of it. I know that the timing for this video is inappropriate for people, but I'm just live streaming because this is the time I have available to paint today. And I think I did say that I was going to be a bit selfish about how I was doing things for a couple of weeks, just because I like the idea of having a bit of time to sort of just do my own thing. And I don't, yeah, come on, get that in there. I know that I was trying to focus on just the leaves. I do realise that I am not focusing on just the leaves. I'm filling in gaps that I've missed. Now there's a little leaf there on the stomach. And we'll get at him. Yeah, we'll get him. Aaron, you reckon it's not work? I can hardly call it work. You know, Aaron, someone's got to do it. And when things go down, you'll be it. Let's hope things don't go down, but someone's got to do it. Sometimes jobs just consist of just sitting there and waiting for something bad to happen. Or making sure that nothing does happen, right? Watching inmates while writing my next novel and listening to this great convo. You're only listening to me waffle. It's you know, if you guys weren't here, I would just sound like I'm talking to myself. Hang on, that's exactly what it would be. That's exactly what it'd be. Oh dear. Can you imagine if everybody in the live chat could talk during the live chat at the same time? Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Okay, so little leaf there. Okay, so that is that's definitely helping. And keep doing that and picking them out. It'll look a bit better than it was before. Hi Joe, how's it going? At least you're not checking suitcases, Aaron. Oh, Darren, is that what you're doing? Checking suitcases? Oh my gosh. Hey guys, I'm just painting as well. Joe, I'm glad that you show up and just paint while you're catching up with my live streams. I like the idea, I really do like the idea that there might be more people painting because I'm painting live and they don't want to do it alone, and so they will either listen to somebody else talking or doing stuff or paint along with me. Now just give me a second guys, it's very hard to pick out some of the details on this thing. Oh, there we go, there's a leaf there. I don't know if you can necessarily see that. My old eyes can barely make it out. That's definitely a leaf. That's a leaf. There's a leaf. Oh, I think now I'm just seeing leaves everywhere. Either that or they are actually there, who knows. I'm trying to paint them in. They know better. Oh, you're talking about the inmates. They know better than to get into trouble? Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that the trouble they could create is nothing compared to what would happen in a prison. Okay. Right, so that's really helped. There are still a few more little leaves that I could pick out, so I'm going to do that. I feel like this is what is going to make the miniature something other than just a great huge green mass. And I'm not sure what they are. Looks like a leaf there, that looks like a leaf there. Ah, how are we getting there? Aaron, yeah, it would be like a D&D game. God. What's that? Casey? Casey, I'm painting a couple of horses and kegs right now. Oh, cool. Aaron, they know that if they get rolled up, I will just off their character in the next game. Oh dear. I'm sorry, man. I know I'm laughing, but it's pretty funny. So I have to put up, by the looks of it, I need to put up another poll asking what sort of topic will be the Dungeon Master Q&A. And since Aaron and Joe and Darren are here, and you guys follow me more than anybody else that I can think of, this is a good time to have a discussion about what sort of topics I should put up as part of the poll to see what people want me to talk about, or what topic the Dungeon Master Q&A would be. Should I be more accurate? So while you guys are here, throw out some ideas so that I have a few things I can put up, options people can have a look at or consider. It's not like I won't make it open to comments, but you know, it always helps if you've got a bit more of a focus going on and it's appealing to a bigger audience. It's not to say that if I do a topic-based Dungeon Master Q&A or a player Q&A that's topic-based that I wouldn't answer a question unrelated to the topic. You guys know me better than that. Self-aware wolf. That mini looks nice. Good. It is. It is starting to come together, eh? I was a little bit worried before, but it is certainly coming along. It's just a matter of trying to make out where all the little leaves are. It's not so easy to see when you start sort of looking at it and like, it's not actually just a great huge green section. There is, well, is that a huge leaf there? I feel like it is. It is, it's a big leaf. It's the mother of all leaves. Is it the mother or the father? Say the mother. And small strokes, small movements. Fred hand, stay still, stay still. There we go. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, alright, that's looking a lot better. Now, before I get sidetracked by anything else, is there anything else I would like to do to this? I feel like picking out the leaves with that colour was just like brilliant. It has made such a big difference. Oh, there's another little leaf there. I keep seeing little leaves everywhere. Okay, alright. Let's put a different colour on here before I just wind up painting little leaves, or trying to search for them. I think what I should do is I should put some grey on the teeth. And then once I've done that, I should go and start tackling some of the other parts, like the mushrooms, and then go back to the vines. I'm only kidding. We'll go back to the leaves. Lighter colour, mate, maybe something like that. Emerald. So that was the Feywild Emerald, which I actually quite like. That's cool. Where's my grey? There it is. This is a Vallejo paint. So I'm using medium sea grey. So medium sea grey, and there you go. I don't need very much. I just need to get the teeth covered, partly, something like that. Cool. I think I've got it in the right place. What's that, Darren? For the DM, I'd go with more Lost Mine of Phandelver content. It seems lots of people, new people, are getting into it, so it would keep the content going. I'm going to do 2 of those anyway, but I was trying to keep, because not every Dungeon Master coming in, I'm not saying that the Lost Mine of Phandelver stuff isn't hugely popular, because I know it is. And I'm so thankful that I don't have to do videos all the time about rules. But I think that I want to still be able to appeal to those of you who are experienced and want to just talk about other stuff other than the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So I was thinking of maybe, I've run the Curse of Strahd, so I could talk about the Curse of Strahd if people wanted me to. I can talk about... there's no real teeth left there. I feel like it's... I'll just paint it on, Fred. So the Curse of Strahd was an idea. Somebody had asked me to do something on campaign starters. I could cover things like Hoard of the Dragon Queen. I could cover managing people at a table. Remember, my area of expertise is psychology, so I could cover that sort of stuff if people were interested. If they're not, that's fine too. Darren, player topic may be what's expected from players new to the game, or more combat videos. I noticed the combat videos are very, very popular. You know, but the problem is, I would do them, but they're really stressful, and I make mistakes, and I spot them later, and I don't really want to redo them or take them down. And it's because I don't have an opportunity to sort of correct myself, you know. So it's, and I now understand why YouTube channels do not do live Q&As or combat tutorials. It's just a can of worms. There's too many problems that can come into play. So, but yes, I had thought that the players might want more of the combat stuff. I could talk about skills and skill checks. It's always I could talk about some of the books that have been released. The problem is I don't want to talk about books and modules unless it's something I have actually had contact with. And the reality is that one person can never have anywhere near the amount of experience required to give sort of decent feedback on that area. What else have you got here? Good to keep throwing the ideas out, guys. Friend of mine was psychologist at a prison. His stories expanded my vocabulary in interesting new directions. Okay, all right. I guess the because one of the things I'm very good at with is determining people's motives and what's going on in their head, and determining when they're lying from their body language. They don't have to actually speak. I can ask them a question and then I can see from their response, usually I can tell when they are lying or they're holding something back. Aaron's probably very familiar with that particular set of skills. But that's just years and years and years of practice with people who were constantly lying to me. So But, you know, how to resolve conflict, something I have had a lot of experience with. And player and dungeon master conflict, player, DM, player conflict, those are all sort of things I can cover if I needed to. Casey, what do you got here? What about giving your opinion on older modules? Yeah, I can do that. The problem is I haven't played enough old modules. There's so many that I don't think it would be solely a decent topic to cover. Aaron would like to see maybe a bit of info on your style of creation of NPCs, cities, shopping in those areas. Do you know, if people knew how I created things, they would be appalled. No, seriously, you would be appalled. I know you would. Because I know people think that I have some sort of magic recipe. And I don't have a magic recipe. The reality is that a lot of my NPCs start with nothing. And particularly if I think they are unimportant, and I will just use a pre-generated character name from an app or a piece of paper or something I see on the wall or I remember. That's it, and I just go from there, and then I'll build the rest. I use story cubes a lot. Seriously, I use story cubes a lot. For those of you who are wondering where I might have got my ideas from, story cubes are a big part, and that's not my creation. That's Life Flourish. That really is his idea, and a lot of us have appropriated it over the years and talked about it, but it's not my idea. So I'm going to go with red. So for those of you who are wondering, this is Vallejo flat red I'm using on the mushrooms. I'm going to go orange. I feel like orange is much more poisonous. And I will probably have to go over it quite a bit to get it to come out right. Joe, how about what a DM can do to help players get into their character, role play more? I have many ideas, but would love your perspective. Do you know, one of the things I try very hard to do, Joe, is when I am dungeon mastering, I try not to push my players to role play. I know that sounds weird. I know that the new thing, that the thing is, right, you know, all the channels are saying, oh, no, you've got to, you know, encourage your players to role play. But my belief is that my role playing of the monsters and what I'm doing is all that I really need to do. And if the players really want to do that sort of thing, they will pick it up. They can get it from all over the place. So I don't know that would be a great topic, because essentially I've just said everything I need to say about that just now. Keep throwing the ideas out, and something will stick. I'll still put it out there and see what happens. I don't know how well it'll... I mean, sometimes you guys throw out ideas, I think they're terrible, then I try doing it, and it actually winds up working really well. It's been my experience that my view of what is good content is not always the view of people watching my channel. Stuff that I think is terrible, other people think is fantastic. And I put it out and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Why did I even bother? And then somebody thinks it's really good. And I was like, okay, alright, okay, maybe I was wrong. I'm going to get to the chat in a second, but trust me, getting the red onto the mushrooms is actually quite difficult. Certainly it's looked a bit better than it was before. Right, okay, just clean off the brush. While I'm cleaning the brush, what have we got here? Well, Darren agrees with Joe and Aaron. Okay, I'm going to have to obviously review all of this chat and make sure I take notes. Well, Fred, you could be like me and have a bunch of unedited videos gathering dust on a hard drive. Darren, I do have a whole bunch of unedited videos sitting on a hard drive and in a memory stick, as it happens, which is why I stopped worrying about it and just started live streaming. Anyway, they are good ideas. Keep throwing them out there. Yeah, I picked up DMing the social aspect pretty naturally, but playing D&D with special needs inmates or inmates with mental health issues is becoming a bit more challenging. I don't doubt it, Aaron. Oh my, yeah, I can believe that. Okay. I'm just using the green right now. I'm going back over some of my leaves. Okay, so let's work with the red, because I got a bit distracted. I think I'm going to just apply just a little bit more. I might not necessarily be very good at painting, but God, I like doing it. Man, I really do. It's a lot of fun. Brooke, Casey Brooke, what do you got here? How about discussing custom items? You mean custom magic items? Man, I can do that. I know I'm always looking for new items, both magic and mundane items. I've got some really weird things. Yeah, Casey Brooks, I could do that. I'll put it down and see what people say. I think that's not a bad idea. I'll take all your ideas and then I'll let the poll determine what I do. Darren, there was an excellent thread on Reddit today or yesterday for encouraging roleplay for new players. Okay, alright, good to know. DM topic. Module Storm King's Thunder has a section on random towns where I found that I like any other book I had because it filled out the world. How much time do we need to spend filling it out? Okay, interesting. Alright, so now I've done the teeth. I've done them greyish. I'm going to go back to the teeth in a second, but I'm going to grab another green. I've got, this time, I've got this is Vallejo deep green. So I'm going to use the deep green, a different, squirt it baby, squirt it baby, squirt, okay, and that is going to have to be watered down. That stuff is a lot thicker. Yep, it's better. Bam. Okay, so where are we tackling? I feel like we've been tackling a lot of that. Let's see what happens if I stick some here. Let's drape it over some of the vines. I think that's a good idea. I think we'll follow the line of some of these vines and see what happens. And I won't use very much. I'll just use just a speckling, just to sort of change up the green a bit. There we go. Yep, wrong paint. Whoops, wrong green. Turn the green, Fred. Turn the green. Ah dear. Thanks, Darren. Jean Paul, how's it going? Jean Paul is my my dungeon master. For those of you who don't know. Hi Fred, nice painting. I could have used that many when my piece of garden foliage ambushed you and the other guys a few weeks ago. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my DM, John Paul, had a shambling mound, and a few people decided to throw lightning at it and wound up healing it. I didn't say anything. I just sat there and I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. So it was very, very funny. Yes, you could have used it. I think your Umberholt miniature was quite impressive though. It's very, very scary. I don't think anybody's going to forget that anytime soon, actually. For those of you who've never faced a shambling mound, they don't mind getting electrocuted. There we go. Just a few little lines in there. Okay. I think that's making a big difference myself. I mean, the problem is that you're dealing with greens and greens, and even if they are slightly different greens, it's, for those of you watching there, it's probably hard to see anything different about them. Aaron, have the Hags Minis base coated and trying to find time to finish painting those? Ah, okay, I see. Joe, Darren, he has totally given up on Army Painter. Darren, he has totally given up on Army Painter. That's too bad. Oh well. Vallejo is good, but I find them very, very similar to Army. Yeah, I don't know if I've given up. I just don't feel like they cover well if I'm doing a base coat. That's what I'm finding anyway. Let's just keep running my paint over different areas. Let's give the vines a good paint. Alright, got to clean the brush, hang on. Oh, yeah, definitely got to add paint for the Vallejo. They get a lot thicker. Significantly thicker, and they're drying too, so that doesn't help. Alright, and then what is that? It's very hard to see what that is. There's like all these little vines running down this. There we go, we're getting it. It's certainly looking a lot better. Okay, alright. Oh, I see more leaves. Oh, okay, alright, let's just ditch that. Okay, so I've done some vines. I'm going to go really light now with a really light green. I've got two that look really similar. What's the one good thing about playing D&D with inmates is I get paid to play 3 hours of my shift 4 days a week. Aaron, brilliant. You're quickly learning the DM's ins and outs by trial and error. You know, even with all the advice that you can give somebody, I've found that there is a place for a dungeon master to at least learn some stuff by trial and error. I don't think it's actually a bad thing. I think it's, so, oh hang on, so what am I using? I'm using Green Flame, the D&D Green Flame colour. So I'm going to try and pick out some of those leaves that I can see with this stuff, and it's, okay, so I'll apply it and see if it's too thick in a second. No, I don't want to do that, I just want to, it's pretty thin. Move your hand. Sorry guys, my hands are There. Did that work? Does that stand out? Geez, I can barely control the brush. I think that did help. Let's get this leaf. It's actually so thin, kind of reminds me of yellow. You know how when you put yellow on? Yeah, that's right. Everybody yell, green flame, green flame. You know how yellow just never covers well? It's like a fluorescent green. But it isn't really sort of, it's not really sort of going on very well. Maybe I didn't shake the bottle well enough. It's a bit hard to tell. Anyway, let's give another one of these leaves another shot at it. See if I can make a difference there. Darren Joe, I haven't used the Nolzur's pigments yet, but they could be just not mixed well enough, and the ginger medium on top is coming out in a higher ratio to pigment. Yeah, maybe that is what is going on. I'll give it a really hard, I mean I did give it a hard shake. I thought I did anyway. There is another colour here. I could use, what's it, grung green, which is, look, the grung green and the green flame, they look very, very similar. There's not an awful lot of difference there. Okay, so leaves. Find a leaf, put the paint on, move on. So I've just realized you guys have showed up for a live stream where I'm not painting grass, instead I'm painting leaves. Isn't that funny? You've come to watch somebody not grow grass, but to paint grass, essentially. It's pretty funny. There we go. Yeah. Okay. It's there's a leaf down there. If I can just get at him. Come here. Alright. Let's flick it over. So since I've picked out the other leaves with the other colour, they are actually showing up a little bit better. So I'm going to use this colour and see if I can pick them out a bit more, and maybe you can see them a bit more clearly. My Army Painter paints work well. Darren, I agree, that's fine. Just got to shake them well, I suppose. And there. Does that help? Can you see that leaf a bit better now? With the flame green, There we go. And another leaf there. And there's a leaf there. There's little leaves everywhere. I got a leaf here, leaf there, everywhere's a leaf. Binder, ginger. I like ginger more than I like binder. Is ginger a binder? I know it's supposed to be good for you. I've got to grow some ginger in my garden. Well, the lack of my garden needs ginger. Or the ginger, well, anyway, I need to grow it. I can eat it, so I might as well grow it, right? There we go. Oh, there's a little leaf there. Oh, don't want to miss any of these little suckers now. No, that paint is just... Okay, I've got to water it down now. It's getting a bit hard. Is it? It's a better. It is better, Darren. Looking better. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm on the right track. Ugh. I think I just added too much water. All right, give him a shake. Joe, what's your most memorable session, either as a player or DM, that you will never forget? Me, Joe, mate. I don't think I could actually talk about that in public. No, I'm serious. Yeah. Some of the most memorable games that I have had are incredibly private in nature and what happened. So, and they had really, to be fair, it had nothing to do with us playing Dungeons and Dragons, and just to do with the amount of alcohol that was being consumed and some of the stupid garbage that came out of our mouths. Do you know what I mean? I was prone to playing half orcs for a while there, and I like playing half orcs. But the end result is I would often wind up playing a half orc that wound up in the front line. I can't count the number of half orc fighters that died in games that I played, and things like animal companions and so forth that got eaten. Yeah, not necessarily the best stuff. And I'm an instigator, and so if things start to get slow and I'm playing and my mode of operation is like an instigator, I tend to make things happen, and that's not necessarily a good thing for everybody else. So yeah, hence can be a little bit embarrassing sometimes. Okay, let's do the shoulder. There's a big leaf over there, so I definitely want to get at that. Darren, do you grow ginger from the root itself like potatoes? Well, that would be the plan. You start with the root and go from there, right? Ooh. Yeah, that really has made it just like that green just sort of picks it up and makes it a lot better. The leaves at least stand out a bit more. Okay, so leaf. Where's my little leaves? Ah, there's a little leaf there. Good zoes. There's a big leaf over there. I remember that one. What's that, Aaron? My players were using flying brooms to stay out of range of my casters outside of our flying city. So I had one NPC cast Dispel Magic at high level and watch the archer on the broom fall. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If anybody remembers the flying castle from Horde of the Dragon Queen, and if you haven't played it, then I just apologise, spoilers. I borrowed that idea and I decided to stick it into my game. I used it as just the location, right? Because my players really wanted to have their own flying castle, and I was like, yeah, I'll let you have a flying castle, but it ain't going to be easy. And I had it set up with a whole of giants with boulders, throwing boulders at them, and they're trying to fly up there. They turned somebody using polymorph into a flying creature. I think a couple of people have done that, and of course my boulders hit the mounts and then they fell once they got badly damaged, and the person who was concentrating on the spell failed their concentration all I can say is it was raining players. Okay, you can't attack a flying castle that's got a whole lot of giants on it, throwing boulders and using, yeah, basically falling characters, and it was a mess. It was just a horrible mess. They didn't all die, but they were like, we can't do that again. What should we do? And oh yeah, it was nasty. I felt really bad, but for some reason at that particular time, I was prepared to do it all over again. If I think back on it, I'd think it was a bit stupid. But you do things and you think, okay, maybe that wasn't such the best thing to do. I think around that time the group started to disintegrate, not so much because of my DMing, but because of just time schedules, and so they never really sort of had an opportunity to rectify the issue. You never know. That might change in the future. Okay. Right, well, the lighter green is really, really helping with the miniature, I have to say. It's made a significant difference. And before I lose my voice and before we wind up sitting here for an hour and a half, yeah, no, Joe, I'm not straight-laced. I do have my times, but yeah. My behaviour at the table is, as a player in the past, is mythic and legendary in terms of the silly stuff I used to get up to. And it was, mostly it was funny, but yeah, there are times where I am sure that the Dungeon Master who was having to contend with me was not so happy about what I was doing. Okay, so let's do the teeth. I've got some of this Dungeons and Dragons or Army Painter zombie flesh. So I'm going to use that zombie flesh on the teeth, because I don't really think that I want to use a green, and I don't really want to use a white, because that just looks weird. So I'll use this stuff instead and see what happens. Now, do I use that brush or do I use a bigger brush? Use that brush or a bigger brush? Oh, okay, I'm using a small brush. Okay, here we go. Let us try. I'm trying just to pick out the teeth, but yay! I feel like this might actually be working. The teeth itself are kind of jagged. Needs to go to the dentist. You need dental work. Dental work. Your teeth are messed up. So one of those is actually looks like it's got he's got a molar. Yeah, that's a molar for sure. I did like purple mushrooms. Purple mushrooms mean instant death. Orange mushrooms means poisonous. Purple mushrooms means instant death. You eat those, it's all over. There we go. And we'll pick out that one little tooth there. Well, it's not white, but the zombie flesh colour I think has made a significant difference. I think the teeth look kind of like gnarly now. Gnarly teeth. Darren, I should try growing some indoors. Jean Paul, what's that? Most memorable session, Princes of the Apocalypse, when Violet, my wood elf rogue, was caught hiding in a crypt attempting to steal a hero's corpse. Mate, that has got to be... That's when you had the elemental, the dragon. How many monsters did you have to contend with? Honestly, I could see you peeing your pants. You were just losing it. I thought you were going to have a complete fit at Kirsty, who was DMing at the time. It was like, you can't do that. It was pretty impressive. And I don't know how you managed to survive. Pulled out all the stops clearly. Right. Okay. So I'm using Rust Monster Orange, which is a Dungeons and Dragons, or should I say an Army Painter paint. Yeah, there's my orange. Okay, so bigger brush, less small brushy stuffy going on. There's a little brush there. Let's put that away. Got it. And then a bit of water on the brush to make sure it's not dry. And then take most of it off so it's not too wet. And we shall paint the mushrooms. I don't really want to... I'm going to roughly put orange on. So it's going to be patchy. For those of you who are wondering why, because I feel like it. I'm allowed to... I want some of the red to show through. Yeah, yeah, look at that. I like it. He's got little caps on top of his head. Yes, he does. Little caps. Here we go. Gene Paul takes the cake with some of the things that have happened in the game. It's been very entertaining at times. I think I've got a friend who decided to all the creatures that he was killing had to be taken back for a zoo, and he couldn't necessarily take an egg every single time, so he insisted on taking their sperm or their eggs out of the dead animal, and then impregnating somebody with them so that he could then create one of these beasties or creatures to take back to the zoo. It's very, very kinky and weird, I have to say. Gene Paul, during negotiations by the knights, I lied that I was a nymphomaniac and wanted to sleep with the hero. I rolled a 20 to convince them. My fellow gamers have never let me live that one down. Well, to be fair, I had forgotten. As it happens. Darren, that's really looking good now, Fred. I think I am going to do mine this weekend. Cool, Darren. Awesome. Okay. Stay focused. I was looking at this really cool looking, icky, yucky looking zombie flesh color, and I was thinking I should use some of it in just key locations. Joe, I want to watch a drunk stream next time. I want to see this wild Fred come out. No, you don't, because I can't drink anymore. And to be fair, it wasn't so much me drinking as it was the other guys drinking. Otherwise, they would have not tolerated it. I don't. Do I sound Australian? Well, as it happens, New Zealand has decided that, and I can speak for all New Zealanders, because of course I would do something like that, right? I can say that New Zealand has decided that Australia can become a state of New Zealand if it would like to, but we don't plan to become a state of Australia. They are welcome, but that's our criteria and requirement. They have to become a state of New Zealand. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. Yeah, I'm just sticking a little bit on this rock here down the bottom here, and I feel like it's too aggressive. It's too... No, it isn't going to work. It isn't just... Yeah, no, it isn't going to work. I'm going to skip that idea. Leave that alone, Fred. Okay, I've got my teeth. I've got part of my mushrooms sorted out. Wild Fred comes out every Saturday night when his... Oh, God. Yes, well, yeah, okay. The wild magic has been getting pretty crazy, I have to say. To be fair, though, you guys have signed on for that. and that's not really me doing anything crazy. That's just the chart. Okay, alright, so let's do, this time, grung green. We'll try grung green. There we go, grung green. I'm working my way through the greens. Yeah. Alright, so this is really, really bright. In comparison to the last one I was using, it might actually wind up being too much. I'm a little bit worried if I attack it and then it's like I don't like it. Okay. Grow some balls, Fred. Get the paint on there. If you don't like it, just paint over it. Seriously. God. Whoa! It is, yeah, okay, alright. That certainly stuck out a lot. Let's just grab this colour. Bit of wire, water, loosen up the paint, and... No, it's not working. It's dry, it's dry, it's drying out. Okay, I will fix it. I will figure it out. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to have to... I feel like I have to brush this on. Just joined. Hello, Fred. What chat? And chat. And chat. Yes, that's right. How's it going, Chris? Darren, it's totally reasonable. It's not like New Zealand is a tiny country and Australia is much bigger. What do I need? I need like a soft brush, and I need to brush it on, and I need to brush it off, and then I need to see what will happen. Okay. Maybe it's too much. You guys will let me know if you think it's too much. What do you think? Too much? Stand out too much? A bit too aggressive? We had Sesh 0 last Saturday. The adventure starts this weekend, so excited. Oh, fair enough, mate. I'm going to tackle another leaf and see what happens. We shall tackle this one. Ooh. Oh, I don't like the big brush. It's not working for me. Yeah, it's too hard to control the paint. And it's probably going to be better if I wash it after. Although I will spot wash it. You can tone it down with a wash, Fred. Yeah, Darren, I think you're probably right. I'm going to have to tone it down with a wash. And just wash the leaves. Okay, all right. Man. I'm losing all control of my fingers now. Yeah, go bright and then wash away. Fair enough. She'll do so. Okay, alright, so that's that leaf there is looking really awful now. They certainly stand out if I use this colour. Alrighto. Let's under the armpits. And rinse and wipe. Okay, so that brush is just going to be too big. I'm going to have to go to a smaller brush. It's just not going to work otherwise. Yep, that one. Where's the small one? There it is. Facebook, what's that? I need to get on Facebook. Been a while since I logged in there. I am not fond of Facebook, but I have realized that I have to use it for good rather than evil, and connecting people up who want to play Dungeons and Dragons is for good, and showing people what I've eaten for breakfast or lunch or dinner is for evil, or just pointless, and slagging people on it is pointless too, and evil, and don't like doing it. So yes, got to use it for the right things, right? Okay, so this is, now there's a big leaf there. We'll get a little leaf, and just I guess the thing is I don't need to necessarily cover the whole thing, do I? Do I, Fred? No, I don't. Yeah, it certainly has made them stand out, but not a huge fan. I'll probably go back over with the flame green. Where else do I need to go? Where else do I need to go? I don't think I'll do all the leaves. I think I'll just do some of them. The rest I will leave as they were. Alright, so rinse off my brush. Chris, their backstories are already so good. What's this? I agree with Facebook for good. Haha. Can't wait to share how the first encounter goes for Lost Mine of Fandelver. My players are great and I'm a spoiled noob dungeon master. Hey, Chris, are you dungeon mastering for the first time and never played the game? I'm just curious. Because if you have never played the game and you went straight into dungeon mastering, you have my respect. That is hard if that's what's taken place. It takes a serious pair of gonads to do something like that. Oh, this is not really shaking up the way I'd hoped. I want to use the bright orange. Vallejo bright orange. Come on. Okay. I'm shaking paint. I'm not going to the toilet. For those of you who are thinking I was doing something else. No, it's not working. Come on, come out. Alright. Gonna have to mix this a little bit. Alright, so this is going to be, how do I do this? I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm going to have to go with something else. Yeah. I played D&D in the 80s. I'm old, laugh out loud, so it's been 30 years. But yes, I've played. Okay, look. You'll be fine. It'll all be good. How do I brush that on the way I want to without making a horrible mess? Let's just see if I can get that pigment on that brush there. And then if I stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, still not working. Because the brush is too wet. So this is the thing. When you get to a point where you're like, okay, now I need to just do some final touch-up bits, and you're like, I'm ready, and then the paint's not doing exactly what you want it to do. It's hot. I need the paint to dry out faster. It's not drying out fast enough. Okay, so think, Fred, think. Okay, let's just try that. No, maybe not enough. Okay. Just patience and just apply a little bit at a time. Doesn't have to be a lot. And okay, all right. I'm kind of happy with that. I think that looks fine. That'll work. Darren P. I think we're all old except for Cart of Videos. He's a teenager or she's a teenager. Casey Brooks. That was me. I started as the DM even though I was playing with veteran players, but no one wanted me to DM, so I picked up the DM's guide and starter set and rolled with the punches. Laugh out loud. Casey, mate, it is one thing to Dungeon Master after you have played the game and been a player, but it is another thing to be able to cope with the stress of just dungeon mastering and never have played the game, particularly if you had veteran players with you. I don't understand why they didn't decide to DM. It's kind of weird because, you know, you play long enough, usually everybody winds up DMing. I know just about everybody in my group is DM'd. So yeah, a little bit odd as far as I'm concerned, but hey, whatever. Okay, I need a drink of water, and I'm just using my brain and thinking about the next move. Okay, so we're going to go with brown. I have, let's say we've got 7 minutes to get the browns done. So let's do brown. I'm using, what am I using? This is the Owlbear Brown, D&D Army Paint, Owlbear. Going with that one, going with a small brush, a little bit of water, and we're going to tackle some of the areas that should have stayed brown and aren't brown now. So along here. There we go. And I'll do that again. Where is it? And along here. It's kind of hard to pick out which bits are the woody bits and which bits are the green bits, right? I suppose if you've been doing this long enough, it would be easy enough to figure it out, but I'm having trouble. Come here. There we go. Bit of brown on the end there. Okay, so what am I looking at here? There's a little section there that needs a bit of paint on. Just on this. I think it's just come off. Okay, so let's tackle that little bit. Yeah, much better. I would like to think that I don't need to come back to this and do any more painting, but gee, yeah, I don't think it's going to get done in 3 hours. Yeah. What's that, Chris? Fred, just go with it. No mistakes, just happy accidents. Bob Ross style. Bob Ross, yeah, I don't really know Bob Ross that well. I know who you're referring to. Somebody's mentioned him before. Good, that'll do it. And then if we flick that over there, what have we got here? Around the I don't really want green there. Let's make that brown again. Make me brown, make me brown. I want to be brown. Don't want to be green, I want to be brown. Yeah. Gosh. That was easy to get at. Ah, dear. Darren, one of my favourite memories was from early on when I was brand new. We had fought a troll in a homebrew Greyhawk campaign adventure, and the DM said it was dead. Okay. Yeah, I don't... What? Casey? Yeah, I don't get it either, but I'm trying to get one of my players to take over because I'm leaving in a few months and have to find a whole new group again. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why people think that they... I've heard people go on about, I'm looking for a dungeon master, I'm a player. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you absolutely serious? Are you telling me that you think that there's a collection of people who are going to be DMs all the time, and there's a collection of people who are going to be players all the time? What world and planet do you come from? It is not the world and planet that I agree with. Oh yeah, it's looking better. It's looking better. Problem is, every time I put paint on, there's like another spot that I feel like I need to paint again. I know what it is. The light, I'm losing the light, and my hands aren't moving quite as carefully as they were before, and so I will reach a point where I will just have to stop because I can't see what I'm doing properly. Old eyes. It has certainly improved. And using that wash to fill up all the white bits was like a great idea. Alright, last little bits of brown going down to the wire. Yeah, down to the wire. down to the roots, down to the bony, browny, rooty, bitsy bits. There we go. Not sure what I'm supposed to do there. Put the paint on the miniature, Fred. Put the paint on. You can't even see what I'm doing, probably. There we go. And something like that. It sort of blends in and sinks into the middle somewhere along there. It's kind of hard to distinguish what is root and what is green foliage. I mean, like the barky, rooty bits and the not so barky, rooty bits. Okay. Alright. I'm finishing this little bit here, and then I'm going to go, that'll be enough for today. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. And I feel like I have had a significant level of progress and improvement compared to what it was before. So that's what we've got. I mean, it's not magic, and I mean, it probably still needs a wash and things like that, and I'm sure I could have done better, but anyway, it's not too bad. Dear. Okay, so look, I'm going to take off, everybody. Will I be back tomorrow? Yeah, I probably will be back tomorrow. Will I be painting this? I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun painting it, but we'll see. We'll see. I have still not decided completely what I will do, so we'll see. But look, if you liked this, then please share and like the video. If you enjoyed hanging out with me, bring your own miniatures next time. Share and like the video if you feel like doing so, and subscribe, hit the bell button. Thanks for watching this very long video. I have more videos like this that are very long as well. You're painting stuff and doing crafty bits and pieces. You're welcome to check them out if you want to. I will probably be back very shortly, like tomorrow. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say? I don't do Patreon. I do have affiliate links in the book, for the book depository and Amazon down in the description. If you want to ask questions, you should have joined the live stream when I was doing the live stream. If you're not part of the live stream, that's what comment section's all about. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s, and I'm going to go and do something else. I'll see you later.